a little trick I need you to start doing is reformatting and redefining what your mind thinks of is happiness and sadness. I promise, by doing this, it's going to change everything for you, how you view the world, how you're going to feel inside, and what action you're going to be able to take from that new point of view that you're going to have. So let's start with the basics. Why do you need to do this? Why do you need to recalibrate and reformat this thinking? Now, picture like a little kid, a toddler. These little kids, they get so happy and so sad off of such a small little deviation in what happens in the real world. You take away their toy and they're in complete distraught and dismay, and it's the worst thing possible for them. When you give them a nice candy and they're euphoric, they're at the top of the world, it couldn't get any better. Because they haven't experienced anything in life, they haven't experienced real despair or real euphoria, real good times in life. They have a very small deviation, a small area where their emotions stays within. And this is fine when you're a little kid, but now that you're a grown man, you need to change how you view this. If all it takes for you is one small positive or one small negative to completely change your emotional state, and you start to view your life and your circumstances as good or bad, that's a very dangerous place for you to be in long term and for you to be productive in any way. And I need to be clear here, this isn't just about the negatives as well, about feeling sad or in despair when something bad happens, but it's about the positives as well. You can't get too swayed one way or the other, otherwise you're at the whims of the world. Let's look at it through the lens of a positive event. Say you get promoted at work, or you get a nice gift, something like that, and you feel in the moment and for a period of time after, like you're in a really good mood, that's really positive for you, life's going well. See, this is where the danger sets in, because these things don't happen all the time. You can't live your life thinking that, or experiencing and feeling that you're only happy when you get these X, Y, Z things and they have to happen for you to be happy. Because what do you think are the negatives of that? If you need those peak experiences, not even peak experiences, but just something better than what you're used to, how do you think you're going to act on a day-to-day? How do you think you're going to view the world when these things don't happen to you? Are you going to be sad now because you didn't get promoted every single week, or your buddy didn't get you a gift this month? What are you going to do? So you need to be really careful how you react to things, how you perceive events that happen to you. It's not just about the negatives that I'm about to go into, it's the positives as well. If you need those kind of things to be happy, and without them, if life keeps going on, you're in a rut, you're not feeling good, where do you think that's going to leave you exactly? Now let's look at it through a negative point of view. Say you get fired, or a friend says something bad about you. How do you view those things? Are you now extremely sad? Are you in complete despair because of these things? More than likely you're acting this way because that's the peak negative experience you've had so far in your life. You're just a little bit advanced upon a toddler. Your room for error is very small, so when you get something slightly negative, you react to the extreme opposite end of the curve. This is why it's important for you to go through hard times and put yourself through difficult circumstances. This widens the spectrum for you and what you can experience, so that when something seemingly negative or positive happens to you, you don't go straight from 0 to 100 thinking you're in an extreme happiness state or an extreme despair and you can't get out of bed in the morning. It's extremely dangerous and unproductive for you to view the world this way, in such a small, narrow band where something very minor in either direction sends you off the rails. That's why as a man, you need to put yourself through hard times, because your threshold for happiness and pain is going to widen so much more that it will take an extreme scenario to actually put you in real happiness or real sadness and flipping those emotions. You always got to understand that there's somebody out there going through something harder than you. I know it gets flung around all the time, but you really got to understand this and really think about it. Think about the last bad thing that's happened to you. And I bet at the time, and even today, as you're watching, as you're thinking about this, you're probably saying to yourself, that was a hard time. It was really difficult. I wish I didn't have to go through that. Life was very tough for me during that time. Now picture anyone else in the world. There is somebody out there that would have loved to have gone through that instead of what they went through instead. Picture that. There's somebody out there that would love to go through what you went through instead of what they did. Now it comes down to a matter of perspective. You viewed whatever bad event it was that you went through as extremely negative, you're sad, you're in despair. But to somebody else that has reformatted and their calibration is completely different to yours in terms of the emotional states that they experience, that might just be within the normal range for them, which means when they go through that event, their reactions to that and their outcomes and what they do moving on from there is going to be completely different to you, even though you've both gone through the same experience, but they're going to take different action to you. So do you see how it's positive for you to view the world differently? You need to expand, reformat how you view these things. Understand that if you do have a small narrow margin and a small deviation for error in terms of these things, that you need to widen that and you need to put the pressure on yourself to go through this. You don't want to be like that little kid that fluctuates his emotions from 0 to 100 based on very small events that happen. Maybe for you the scale has expanded slightly, but I'm sure you can improve on that. You have to widen your spectrum to a point where you can go through life, things can happen to you, and unless something truly bad that happens to you that does warrant that change, you won't be shocked and rocked by small little things that happen along the way. I promise you that this is going to help you. It's going to change the way that you view things and events that happen to you. And you need to change the way that you perceive where you sit in that spectrum. Unless you are in complete despair, you're happy. That's how you need to live life. That's what's going to keep you the most productive, the most sane during difficult times. And it's what's going to allow you to keep pushing forward when you're in the thick of things. So start getting really conscious of how you perceive events and start asking yourself the question, if X happened to me, would I just react and become extremely happy or sad during that time? Or is that something I need to recalibrate a little bit and understand that those kinds of things that happen all the time? Compared to other people's lives, it's nothing. Start to take a little bit of an honest reflection and review of your own emotional states and how you perceive the world, and ask yourself, do I need to recalibrate a little bit? By making this change, it's going to make you more powerful. You're going to feel more powerful during events that happen along your life. You won't be at the whims of whatever happens to you. You're going to feel a little bit more in control. All right, guys, think about it. Ask yourself the question, do I need to make this change? Is this going to help me? If it's not, then don't worry about it. But more than likely, it's going to help you. See you in the next one.